Victorians against mandatory coronavirus vaccinations have marched through the city as part of the nationwide protest. Julia Bradley is at Treasury Gardens. Julia, what's the atmosphere like there?
Well, Danica, it's been a very strong atmosphere all day today. The protest here, which is part of the nationwide Millions March protest, it kicked off at midday. It began at Victoria's Parliament House, but things have now moved over to Treasury Gardens. As you can see behind me, still many people here gathering. We believe there are about hundreds of thousands of people in attendance. Really quite a large crowd has turned out today. People waving flags, Australian flags, all kinds of other flags, speeches going on there in the backgrounds on that stage. We've heard a lot of people chanting, a lot of people yelling things out throughout the course of the day. Things like no vaccine mandates, no segregation. That has really been the sentiment of today's protest, that people don't want these COVID vaccines to be mandated, and they also don't want vaccination passports. We've spoken to a number of people, as well as Gab has said as well, that are actually vaccinated but don't believe that it should be a requirement for work. We've spoken to teachers, people from all kinds of different professions. Here's what some of them had to tell us. And why have you turned out today?
Basically fighting for the future for my kids, job mandates for experimental vaccines, my body, my choice.
To take a stand with all these other beautiful people who feel the same way, and to stand up for our freedoms, our democratic state. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
So if we end the mandates, we remove a lot of the fuel that's fueling this discontent. And as you can see, there's a lot of Victorians out here.
Now, there is another element to today's protest here in Victoria. A lot of people who have turned out today are against the government's new pandemic bill, which has been proposed in Parliament. It's being debated at the moment, and a final vote is expected next week. Now, this is a bill that would give Premier Daniel Andrews unprecedented power to declare a future pandemic and then enforce rules. We've come across a number of crossbench MPs who have been attending today's protest. We've seen independent MP Dr. Catherine Cumming, and we asked her how she feels about this pandemic bill.
The importance of actual today is so that it's a show of people power and strength. So the community wants everyone to know that they're here for a peaceful protest. They're actually wanting to stop all the mandates, and everyone here is pro-choice.
We've seen another crossbench MP, a Liberal Democrat, David Limbrick, who has told us that he is not going to support that bill regardless of any amendments that might come at a later stage. And this is all ahead of those emergency powers, the ones that are currently in place, expiring on the 15th of December. A lot of people who we've spoken to today have said that they are going to continue to come out and protest against the idea of mandatory COVID vaccinations and vaccine passports, and they're really hoping that they're going to be listened to.
Julia Bradley, live for us in Melbourne. Thank you for that update.